In California, the weather has turned and firefighters have a chance after almost a week of deadly wildfires. But they haven't won yet, and the flames are still threatening homes and claiming lives. More than 20,000 homes are still in danger, most of them near San Diego. Firefighters say it will take days to control the remaining fires, even in good conditions. Mandatory evacuation orders were lifted, and most of the shelters will close today. But for thousands of people, going home means looking at burned out shells and searching for keepsakes in the ashes.
No pictures, no nothing. Not even my wedding rings in the house there.
Recovery crews found 6 bodies Thursday, 2 in a burned out house and 4 in the desert near San Diego. They fear they will discover more victims as the fires recede and let them back into residential areas. Fire Captain Greg Gutierrez is with the California Office of Emergency Services. He gave us an update on the fires by phone.
We do have 3 confirmed fire-related deaths. We have heard of some other fatalities, but we haven't been able to confirm that through ourselves here yet. 65 injuries, 12,920 firefighters from all agencies all over. 13 fires are still currently burning, and we're up to 519,000 acres that have burned so far, with 2,155 structures that have been destroyed. There's still 21,000 structures that are being threatened, and the fire's still moving on. But the firefighters are still working hard out there. Police, the armed services that have been working, everybody's out there working hard to bring these fires under control. Again, they're down to the 13 bigger fires, and they're still working on those. We're looking at some of these fires being in the range of, let's see, the Harris fire looks to be 72,000 acres. The Witch fire is 196,000 acres. So, these are significant fires. It is an exhausting job. Being a firefighter for 27 years myself, they seem to be in fairly good spirits. They're working them. They're rotating into shifts now, and I spoke with my son, who is actually a firefighter also. He said he was tired, but they were still optimistic in getting out there and putting out fires. So most of the men and women out there that are fighting these fires, they understand the job, they know what they need to do, and they're ready to do it.
That was Fire Captain Greg Gutierrez on the phone from Sacramento. Steve Futterman has been on this story all week, and he joins us now from Rancho Bernardo near San Diego. So, Steve, what have you learned about the 4 bodies that were recovered yesterday?
Well, just an awful discovery. This took place near a border town called Tecate, right near the U.S.-Mexican border. This is an area where a lot of illegal immigrants try to cross the border. It's sort of a gathering spot. The bodies were found in a canyon. They were charred beyond recognition. Firefighters really made the awful discovery yesterday. Right now, they're trying to see if they can possibly identify who these victims were, but it's possible we may never know. As I mentioned, their bodies are burned beyond recognition. They'll try to see if they can get some dental records, but because they came from a different country, because it's believed they are illegal immigrants, it may be very hard to find records for them. It may be very hard to really determine who these people are. What officials also fear is that they may find other bodies. This has been a big concern because this fire, this is the Harris fire, was taking place near the U.S.-Mexican border. In fact, at times it went into Mexico. There was concern that some people who were trying to cross the border illegally might be caught up in the flames. They're just hoping they don't find other bodies in the future.
And Steve, they're closing shelters and letting many people go back home. What are those people finding?
Well, they're coming back to both the great scenes of their homes still standing and just the horrendous scenes of rubble like you see behind me, homes that have been essentially burned to the ground. We have witnessed people coming back as these evacuated areas are reopened. We've seen sort of the coming back of people, families coming back to the streets where they live, and you see the joy on their face when they see that these homes are still upright, and then you just see the horrible agony, the terrible things that go through people's minds and their hearts when they see a home like this, all these memories no longer there.
And the fire crews are still working. What kind of progress are they making?
Well, they're making definite progress. It may be hard to tell at times, but they're making slow but steady progress. The fires continue to burn, and obviously this is not over. There are still battles taking place, but with the Santa Ana winds basically gone right now, the firefighters have been very aggressive the last couple of days, moving in on the ground, and of course, with those air assaults, you don't have to worry about the safety concerns involving the winds. You can send up the helicopters, you can send up the fixed-wing aircraft to make the water drops on the flames. They are making very steady progress. The biggest fire continues to be this witch fire, which is the fire that came through this area here in Rancho Bernardo. It has now burned around 80,000 hectares. It is now 30% contained. May not sound like much, but a couple of days ago, it was only 1% contained. So they're making very steady progress. Yesterday, it was only 20% contained, so a 10% change in one day. They feel very confident the worst is over, and unless there's a sudden change of weather going against them, they feel they're going to have this witch fire controlled and contained by sometime next week.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. That was Steve Futterman reporting for CBC News
My pleasure.
in Rancho Bernardo near San Diego this morning.